If you're still awake at 2 a.m., your brain may already be paying the price. After age 65, every sleepless night doesn't just affect the next day, it impacts memory, immunity, and brain cell survival. Sleep trouble isn't just a symptom of aging, it's one of its hidden dangers. My name is Paul. I'm 78. I used to fall asleep the moment my head hit the pillow. Now, my tired body begs for rest, but my mind keeps me awake until dawn. And it's not just age. It's brain chemistry, hormones, and the quiet. Loneliness that deepens with time. Let me tell you what I've learned. Chapter 1. The Silence of Loneliness. When Miriam was alive, her breathing used to lull me to sleep. It was soft, rhythmic, a sound I never knew I needed until it was gone. Now the room is too quiet, too large. And at night, silence becomes noise. Loneliness isn't just emotional, it's physiological. Studies from the University of Chicago show that social isolation increases levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol at night disrupts sleep cycles, particularly slow-wave sleep, the deep restorative kind. Loneliness whispers things at 3 a.m. that it never says at noon. What helped me? A simple recording of ocean waves. And calling my grandson each evening, even for 5 minutes, just to talk. It reminded me that I still belong to the world. And when you remember you're not alone, sleep comes easier. Some nights I leave the radio on just for the company. Not to listen, just to not feel the silence creeping in. The body feels loneliness, but so does the brain. MRI scans show that isolation activates the same regions triggered by physical pain. I didn't know that at first. I just knew the bed felt colder. That memories echoed louder in the dark. It wasn't just grief. It was the absence of connection. And that, more than anything, stole my sleep. I used to think loneliness just meant missing someone. Now I know it's a chemical weight that presses on your chest in the middle of the night. Even the ticking of the clock starts to feel too loud. What helped me most? Realizing that connection doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. A message, a voice, a memory that reminds you still exist in someone's world. And if you've ever felt this silence pressing in on you, leave a comment below. Your words could remind someone else that they're not the only one awake at 3 a.m. Chapter 2. The Quiet Chaos of Medications. I take 7 pills a day, 3 in the morning, 4 at night. They keep my blood pressure steady, my joints from locking up, my heart from skipping, but they also keep me from sleeping. I didn't realize for years that the beta blocker I was prescribed reduced melatonin, the very hormone I need to fall asleep, or that the decongestant I took for allergies was a stimulant. According to the National Sleep Foundation, nearly 40% of adults over 65 take medications that interfere with sleep. Architecture. What helped? I brought a full list of my meds to my pharmacist, not just my doctor, and asked which might be affecting sleep. We adjusted timing, removed duplicates, replaced some with alternatives. That night, I slept 6 hours straight and felt like I'd won the lottery. For a long time, I blamed the coffee, then the mattress, then aging. It never occurred to me that what was meant to help could also harm, that the very thing prescribed to protect my heart might be stealing rest from my brain. Sleep isn't just about winding down, it's chemistry, balance, and timing. Once I realized that, I stopped blaming myself and started asking better questions. I also learned that drug interactions don't always cause dramatic side effects. Sometimes they just chip away at you, quietly, night after night. One medication makes you drowsy, the other keeps you wired. Together, they cancel each other out and steal your peace. Now I keep a simple notebook, a log of every pill, every time. Because in this stage of life, sleep is no longer automatic. It has to be defended. Chapter 3. The drift after retirement. There was a time when I woke at 6:15, shaved, dressed, read the paper, and left for work by 7:30. Now, the days blur. I eat when I'm hungry, nap when I feel like it, go to bed whenever the evening feels heavy. The freedom is lovely until nightfall. Sleep depends on rhythm. The body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm, is set by exposure to light, regular meals, and consistent routines. When those cues fade, the rhythm fades with it. What helped me? I began treating my sleep like a job. I set a wake-up time and stuck to it. Morning walks replaced old commutes. Evening tea became my signal to unwind. Structure is not just for the working, it's for the living. I used to laugh at people who scheduled everything, but now I see they weren't obsessed with time, they were protecting it. In retirement, time stretches, then slips. Before you know it, you don't know what day it is. Without rhythm, sleep doesn't know when to arrive. And when the nights feel endless, your thoughts don't. Rest either. I learned that freedom without direction can turn into drift, and drift steals rest. Now I treat sunrise as an anchor and dusk as a signal. I tell my body, you're safe. It's time to slow down. That small promise made all the difference. If you feel like your days blur together, start with one thing: a wake-up time. Because when you show up for your mornings, sleep shows up for your nights. Have your days started to blur too? Leave a comment. Sometimes routine starts with a simple reminder. Chapter 4. The restlessness of unspoken fears. I don't talk much about death, but I think about it especially at night, not in panic, just presence. A sense that I'm further from beginnings now, closer to the last chapter. And that brings with it questions. Did I do enough? Will they remember me? What's left undone? These thoughts don't shout, they whisper. And they keep the brain alert. The limbic system, the part of the brain involved in emotion, becomes more reactive with age, especially in the dark when distractions are gone. Anxiety, even quiet existential anxiety, triggers hyperarousal. What helped me? Writing, not essays or grand memoirs. Just 10 lines each night. Fears, memories, gratitude, even nonsense. Putting thoughts on paper gave them shape and let me release them. Sometimes the fear isn't death itself. It's fading away without mattering, without a trace. Sleep doesn't come easily when your heart is still trying to resolve unfinished business. I learned that silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it's a call to write something down so it stops haunting you in the dark. Now I keep a pen by my bed, not for poetry, for peace. And if you've ever had those 2 a.m. questions keep you up, try writing one down, not to answer it, just to give it somewhere else to live. Chapter 5. The ache of the body. My knees complain when it rains. My lower back has a language of its own. Some nights, it's the pain, not the worry, that keeps me staring at the ceiling. Pain disrupts sleep continuity. Microarousals, brief moments of wakefulness, become more frequent. And fragmented sleep leads to grogginess and lowered pain tolerance the next day. It's a cruel loop. What helped me? Magnesium supplements, a foam wedge under my knees, gentle stretching before bed, and learning to respect pain, not fight it. Sometimes I speak to it. Okay, you're here. But I still get to rest. Strange, maybe, but sleep is half mindset. And the body listens to kindness. I used to think pain was a punishment. Now I see it as a message. If you're dealing with nightly pain too, try shifting how you respond to it. Not every ache needs fixing, but every ache deserves kindness. Rest isn't always easy, but it's still possible. And if this sounds like your story too, leave a comment. You're not the only one who wakes up tired before the day begins. I've come to accept that some nights will be interrupted. That comfort won't always arrive on time, but I no longer see that as failure. I light a candle now before bed, take my time, slow down. And I remind myself, rest is still worth pursuing, even when it comes in fragments. It's not about perfect sleep. It's about showing up for your body with patience. Every night is a chance to try again. Chapter 6. The hormonal shift. Melatonin production decreases after age 60. That's not a theory, it's a biological certainty. And when melatonin falls, the signal to sleep weakens. The body loses its evening whisper. I tried pills. Over-the-counter melatonin worked, then didn't. I tried warm milk, soft lights, blackout curtains. What finally helped? Going outside every morning. 10 minutes of sunlight before 9 a.m. resets the pineal gland and boosts natural melatonin production at night. It's slow magic, but real. Nature has rhythms. And sometimes the cure isn't in a capsule, it's in remembering we're part of something larger. I learned that even mild exposure to morning light can help reset sleep timing by 30 to 45 minutes. Most days, I step outside barefoot. Just for a minute, feel the cold, hear the birds. It became less of a fix and more of a ritual. I stopped waiting for sleep to return on its own. I went looking for it in the sky, the wind, the quiet rhythm of something older than me. If you've been struggling with sleep too, don't just wait. Step into the light, let nature meet you halfway. And if this small shift has helped you or you're ready to try, share your story, because sometimes your light might guide someone else out of the dark. Final reflection. Sleep in old age isn't just a rest. It's a return to peace, to presence, to the child within who once fell asleep in a moving car without care. I've stopped chasing perfect sleep. I've learned to welcome stillness, to lie down not to achieve rest, but to meet it. And I've come to believe that the body, if given half a chance, knows how to sleep again. Sometimes it just needs permission. So if you're reading this at 2 a.m., you're not broken. You're becoming quiet enough to listen. And in that silence, rest is waiting. All our lives we're taught to fight for progress, to push, to optimize. Even our rest becomes a task to conquer. But sleep, like aging, doesn't respond to force. It answers to gentleness, to rhythm, to surrender. So tonight, let go of the effort. Let yourself be carried. Because maybe the most restful place isn't a perfect bed or the right supplement. Maybe it's simply knowing you're not alone in this. We're all just trying to rest a little easier. Together. And when morning comes, it won't matter if you slept 8 hours or only 3. What will matter is that you gave yourself grace, that you laid down not in frustration, but in trust, that even in sleeplessness, you found a kind of peace. And if these words found you tonight, maybe it's because you needed them. So leave a comment. Let someone else know they're not alone either. Even in the quiet, we rest better together.